Moises, I remember you mentioning that you visited other planets through astral projection, and that one of them had plants much larger than those on Earth. Almost like a kind of Pandora, the fictional planet from James Cameron's movie Avatar. A lot of filmmakers are somehow contacted, and do a lot of research. Like Gene Roddenberry, from Star Trek, which we consider a contactee, someone with a lot of privileged information. I consider Star Trek as my Bible. I think they talk, inside the fiction, about a range of depth and reality, much stronger, much more intense, than many news programs we have.
Yes, sure.
Because nowadays, there's this expression fake news, but actually, human beings have always been a victim of fake news, of the news. It was like that, but it wasn't like that. The targeted news, according to the political intention of the information. Fiction, as you have said, sometimes brings more reality to those who have an expanded consciousness, those who analyze the whole, than a newspaper headline.
Of course.
What was I saying before? Ah, yes. You have been to planets, or to a planet that had a very rich vegetation, flora. There must have been a lot of oxygen there?
Of course. I've been to planets where trees were absolutely disproportionate to what we see here. Our trees are very low. I mean, if you are 10 meters tall, you're above a tree. There was no such thing there. A tree was an absolutely huge thing, very big.
And is this planet located in our solar system?
Not in our solar system, but actually in our galaxy. If you saw such a tree, you would ask how you could go around it. It was huge. A huge trunk. And its height. I would say it was 1 kilometer high. They were very high. I didn't even see a bug there. Not a single animal. There was no animal there. I kept looking for it. The leaf of one of these plants was so big you could lie down on it and sleep there. I wondered how that was possible, having so many beautiful things, and so big, and we can't live it, because on our planet, the leaves are small, trees are small, and we are microscopic, really.
Maybe if we were to talk about geology, or biology, this planet you have visited, at the time you visited, it was perhaps at the beginning, when there were more minerals, vegetables, and perhaps they could have a phase of welcoming animal life in the future? Maybe they weren't at this stage yet. Because the planet, every planet, is like a laboratory of life. Do you think so too?
Yes, I think so. As I found such a planet, with huge trees, lots of vegetation, some vegetables, which consumed other vegetables.
Some vegetables consumed others.
Vegetables that are, we call them carnivores here. When a vegetable eats an insect. But not there. They actually ate other vegetables.
Vegetarian vegetables.
That's right. Absurd business.
Vegan vegetables.
How can something like that happen? And they exist. But I believe that there were no animals there because of this condition of the vegetables. They could digest everything that was there.
In other words, were they self-sufficient?
They were self-sufficient.
Did you go there in astral body?
Yes, in astral body. I thought about it one day and said, I could transport myself and live there. But after seeing him eating other plants, I said, if I lie down on a leaf like this, I could be eaten by a vegetable. I can't do that.
I'm used to eating vegetables.
Then I said, boy, what a problem. Obviously, that was just an experience I've had.
Now, do you feel that NASA is still a long way from finding out a planet like that? Because we will soon, after Hubble, right? We now have another telescope. We're already having access to several exoplanets, with a very similar composition to Earth, aren't we? Maybe, one of those planets there, maybe.
Would you like to participate in a work of energy giving from afar that is benefiting thousands of people? Click on the link below for more information.